There's so much water on these tracks.
Cape York! Well, mate, behind us is
Gunshot, mate, Cape York, probably the single most famous bit of Australian four-wheel drive track.
I'm nervous.
So am I. I ain't lying to you.
I'm on the recovery
Look where
vehicle.
Sooty is. It's up there. It's not yet down here.
All right, well, we're in Cape York. This is the Telly track, the most famous track in Australia, and that the most famous obstacle in Australia, with perhaps the most famous four-wheel drive sitting on top of it.
And
with one of the
most scared four-wheel drivers in Australia right now, about to jump into it.
Love iconics. All right. I wish you luck, my friend. Get in there.
Get ready.
How do you even get back up there?
I don't know. There's a ladder.
It's a glorious day in Cape York as we roll up to Bramwell Junction. It's the roadhouse that marks the start of our Old Telly track adventure. It's early in the season and we're going to be one of the first convoys up the track this year, after what has been a huge wet season. With the four-wheel drives fueled up and the track entry just metres ahead, it's time to knock some air out of the tyres. Shauno is leading the convoy up the Old Telly in Sooty, his rear-locked 80 series with all the good fruit and one nut behind the wheel. Next up, it's my D-Max, and I reckon it's got to be one of the more perfect Cape touring vehicles available for the money. Look, I might be on 31s, but I reckon I'm going to eat up this track. Give us a thumbs up if you agree. Behind me is my mate Anthony from Opus Campers. He's wheeling his Ford Ranger and towing an OP2 self-inflating camper. Anthony reckons he's going to show us Cape York camping luxury on a whole new level. Mate, I'm looking forward to it. Closing up the convoy are Sam and Andy from Sparesbox. Now, look, you've seen Sam wheel this twin-locked beast of an 80 before, and luckily for Shauno, they're also carrying all the spares you could ever need from Sparesbox online store.
Well, here we go, boys. The point of no return, the Old Telly track, probably Australia's most famous four-wheel drive track. I'm pretty pumped.
Mate, this year I've been told it's... we're early, mate. There's going to be a lot of water.
Yeah, I reckon less than probably a dozen vehicles have been through. They say lots of water, lots of mud, lots of ruts, just pretty much untravelled, mate.
Anthony, how you feeling about taking a brand spanking new camper trailer up the Telly? You'll be the first trailer up here, without a doubt.
Mate, I reckon it's probably the perfect proving ground for me to give it a whirl.
Yeah, it certainly is, mate. If you can handle this, it'll probably handle anything, I suppose.
Oh, let's bring it on.
And Sparesbox down the back. I know it's your first time up in Cape York, and definitely first time on the Telly. You're pretty pumped?
Mate, Andy and I cannot wait to get stuck in. It's going to be sick.
Well, mate, you got the right vehicle for it. And it's not a coincidence you put an 80 leading and an 80 sort of following up in the rear there. The rest of the convoy should have comfort in that.
You can only hope.
Have a look how long this grass is still. Hasn't even died down yet.
Yeah, we're early. It's going to be pretty wild, boys.
One of the great things about the Old Telly is that the challenges start within a few minutes of hitting the track. Up ahead is a challenge we weren't expecting. And that gives us an idea of just what we're in for this year. We haven't even gone more than a couple of 100 metres and already we've got trees down across the track. Now, if this is how the track looks this early on, we are in for one heck of an adventure. And that, to me, is the beauty of getting to places like this early in the season. Not many people have been up here yet, so what's up ahead is virgin country for us. This is what we live for. With the track clear, we jump into the first of many creek crossings that pepper the track. In previous years, we've barely even seen water in this little creek, but with some solid depth to it, I can only imagine how deep the big crossings like Nolans are going to be. All right, here we go. Up ahead is the first big challenge of the Old Telly. We're talking the infamous Palm Creek. Now, this place is something of a make or break for anyone considering the Old Telly. It's got a steep entry and two gnarly exits that often require winching. It's not a place to head into unprepared.
Well, here we go. Start of Palm Creek. This is exciting for every four-wheel driver, but it marks the start of the Telly. And it's also one of the most challenging obstacles on the Telly. We good?
Come towards me a bit, bud.
I'm about to go.
Yep. Oh.
That's my brakes.
Yeah, you got brakes?
I don't need to use... Whoa,
Yeah.
that's steep.
In he goes.
That's really steep.
Yeah, it's not pleasant.
That's really steep. Whoa. Forget about Gunshot. That's wild. Oh my goodness. Yes. Look at the exit of this. Holy heck. We'll park right here. Go and have a look at this.
Ah, you know what I need to do here? This is a feature of my clear view mirrors that really does make a big difference to me. If I just push this button down here, check this out. How cool is that? That's rockstar if you ask me, but it just means that as I come down this, I'm not going to knock them on the bank. Makes a big difference. Am I looking? Am I lined up? Pretty close to it? This is easy. There's nothing to it. Nothing to it. Nope, I want to go back up. That's steep. That is, I reckon that's steeper than other years. Oh, that mud stinks.
Rightio, Anthony's turn now. With that trailer, this is going to look pretty darn scary, but I reckon the trailer's going to act as something of an anchor to keep the vehicle stable when it's coming on down that steep entry. He's lined up the slot. Have a look how steep that is. Rightly so, he's opted for slow and steady, but that just means he's going to get hung up in the mud. That's unlucky, but we kind of knew it was going to happen.
Might have to go for a short winch here.
Well, first obstacle, Palm Creek. And the winch is coming out already. Sort of had no choice in the matter. The trail sort of pushes the vehicle down, gets all hung up, and the only way you could have driven it is maybe a little bit more momentum, but like I said, first track of the old telly, we're not here to break things, so just get the winch, the back of the D-Max, should pull the Ranger out.
Well, I got to say, if this is a stitch up, Anthony's done it well. Always remember, folks, put your winch cable right up high where you can get it, because moments like these, you don't want to be digging in the mud. Have a go at this, will you?
Mate, you are filthy. This is exactly why, look at that. This is why we have quality seat covers on these vehicles. Not afraid to jump in, get the seat covers dirty, take them off and wash them, doesn't matter. These are the seats in a brand new vehicle, you'd probably knock a few $1,000s off its value. All right, I'm good to go.
With the winch anchored to the back of the D-Max, we should have Anthony through in no time. And as I suspected, it's a short winch to get Anthony out of trouble, and the trailer follows down with ease. Now, Sam has been frothing on this challenge ever since we told him we're taking him up to the telly. And that big 80 was custom built for drives like this, but have a look at Andy. He's loving it.
Holy moly.
All right, with all the boys down, it's time for the main event.
So it's always a good idea on these tracks just to walk them first and just see what you're getting yourself in for. I think this one here, we're pretty obvious to see that we've got a lot of traction down here. Whoa, something touched me. There's a lot of traction down here. Ah, that's really sticky mud. The wet season has really done its bit. Washed a lot of mud down into here. Shauno is so amped to get stuck into this. You'll be right. Oh, there's something touching me. Can't be, nothing can live in this.
This is going to get pretty muddy, I think. So much mud down here, but I don't think many people have even driven it this year.
Shauno's going to have his work cut out for him just to get to the start of this exit, much less driving out of it. But if I know Shauno, you'll give it a red hot go.
A little bit more horsepower for that. Really soft. Might have to have a winch, I think. I could keep going, but no amount of momentum's going to get me up there.
I think that's a good call, mate, and that is why we run winches, and not just any winch. We've got the new Dominator Extreme with 12,000 pounds of pull. With tree trunk and winch blankets in place, Shaun begins the steep winch out of the creek. And with one more punch, he should be out.
Yep. proper hectic.
Oh, that's wild. That's the hardest I've seen Palm Creek ever.
You've got the mud everywhere. The mud is on the rooftop. The mud.
Yes.
I got the mud everywhere.
Yeah, I
That's
tried to
next
give
level.
it everything, man, and had nothing. Nothing.
I'm going to try the old popular beeline.
Yep.
I think I'm still going to struggle at the bottom.
Mate, the beeline's not easy
No.
either.
So I'm going to give that a bell, but
Yep.
I'm dead keen. I'm stoked.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
get
good
into
fun.
it.
Good fun.
Beeline. The top looks pretty good, but the bottom looks diabolical. Second gear. Little low range action. Take it in nice and slow and just see how it feels. Might have to get that with a bit more oomph, I think. Little more oomph.
I think it just needs sometimes to get the mud out, and that's what you've done a good job now. I reckon you'll get further next go.
Just hitting that bash blade, eh?
Look at that, will you? That is some soft mud, and it just swallows these vehicles and then acts like a suction cap to just keep you locked in place. The camera car took this line and they had to winch. For me though, I'm really hoping Max Tracks for the win. Oh man, so close. One more go. Come on, come on. Yes, I'm up.
You wouldn't believe it. There's one little log, this one right here, that was actually hanging one of his tyres up. We got rid of that, put the Max Tracks in, and you saw that, he just walked up there. Goes to show, just a little bit of track building, get the Max Tracks out, make your own highway.
Anthony's going to take that same line, and I reckon he ain't going to hang around. Holy moly, will you look at that? That's a drive, and he's nearly made it too.
Damn, boy!
It takes just a short winch to get Anthony and the camper over the lip of Palm Creek. I tell you what, if the camper trailer can handle this challenge with so little fuss and no damage, Anthony's got the telly track pretty much sewn up.
Terrifying. But here we go.
Sam's opted for the same line as Shauno, and while Sooty cleared a lot of the mud out, he's still getting caught at the bottom there.
Those rocks went there, you can have a proper go at it. Man, it looks empty.
She's slippery. Very slippery. Some anxious faces up there. Very anxious faces. Especially one from the driver's seat. One more, no more.
Yep,
Over there.
that's good.
I think that's the best Sam can hope for there, and with the nose up, it should be a good straight pull on the winch.
No.
A really good tip here, folks, even if you know you can't make it up a hill, don't just stop at the bottom. Try and get the nose pointing up to where you'll winch. Makes it a whole lot safer and a whole lot easier.
Yes, yes! All right, that's Palm Creek.
Palm Creek, first challenge done.
We came, we saw, it kicked our butts. That's early
It's
season.
exciting times though, because
Yeah.
if we're doing that here, we've only got another 35 and a half creek crossings
There's
to
a
go.
half of one to go that I'm worried about. Yeah, there is about another 35
Quite
creek
a few
crossings.
challenges, mate, so...
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking we get these next few done. Little campsite I like to call Birdie Creek.
Yeah,
And
use
then-
my language.
A couple of cold brewskis.
I want to keep this in the passenger seat, mate, because I think...
You should, bud.
I think
You
we'll
should.
need it.
All right, let's go.
Now, I mentioned the Nolan camera car before, and I know you lot like to see the old GU beastie. So here's her run at Palm Creek. With the crew and their gear, there's a lot of weight on board, and the guys struggled a bit on the exit. But that's not bad for a fully loaded rig, I reckon you'd agree. What do you reckon, folks? What line would you have taken up Palm Creek this year? The left-hand muddy side or the right-hand steep side? Let us know in the comments. With Palm Creek under our belts, we push on through some of the old tally's many creek crossings. Tackling this track early in the season is an entirely different beast to doing it later in the year. Not only have we got the place to ourselves, which is fantastic, but sections of the track that are normally bone dry are full of mud holes and water. And I'm not going to lie, this is why we came up so early, because we wanted the challenge. This is a heck of a lot of fun. You know, there's so many thoughts out there about what's the right tyre pressures that you should run on a track like this up in Cape York. I'm running 25 PSI in my Bridgestone Jeweller MTs, but it really depends on so much. I'm talking the terrain you're driving, the weight you're carrying, your tyre size, and so much more. So I'm going to put it back to you. What tyre pressure do you reckon you'd run on this track? Tell us in the comments below. As you're driving up the old Telly track, keep your eyes peeled off to the side, and every now and again you'll just get a glimpse of one of the old telegraph lines, because of course that's what this was. It was a communications channel between Australia and essentially the rest of the world. Now, in today's age of picking up a mobile phone and get a bit of information straight away, or call someone on the other side of the earth in a split second, it's amazing to think that this very track we're driving right now was created just to keep comms between Australia and the rest of the world. There's one right there. There you go. They still exist. After a great first day on the track, we're going to point the bull bars towards a favourite little campsite of ours on Birdie Creek. Now, I'm not going to give away exactly how to find this one, but I tell you, it's an absolute cracker.
How good is this little campsite right here? Now, on some of these more remote trips, you'll often find me with a solar blanket or some sort of solar. Now, I figure that I might set this solar blanket up right now. You're thinking, the light's going down, why would you bother setting up your solar panel now? Well, it's quite simple really, because the Red Arc solar panel, this one here is a 150 watt solar panel. It's actually going to grab a little bit of charge right now, but more importantly, as soon as the sun pops up from the east, which is in that direction right there, it's going to hit the bonnet of this nice and early before I wake up. It's going to start putting charge before I'm even having my morning coffee. So I reckon that is pretty cool. So what I found with the 150 watt Red Arc solar blanket here is, even in low light like this, it's still going to trickle maybe 1.5, 2 amps into my Manager 30 system in the back here. When the sun is at its peak and this is facing it, well, I'm going to get more like 7 or 8 amps into my system, which is more than enough to run the fridge and all my camp lights and all the goodies that I've got in the back here. So just going to plug it in now and let this one do the charging.
It's that time of day where I think we can be forgiven for being really keen to sink a few iron jacks around the fire. But of course, first we got to set up camp. While we're still pulling out swags, Anthony has the camper lid open, and at the flick of a switch, yeah, that's right, you heard me correctly, the flick of a switch, the camper starts to inflate. This bad boy sets up fast. You turn your back for a few moments and suddenly there's a fully set up trailer. My swag is pretty damn comfortable, but I gotta say, that thing is luxurious. With camp duty done, it's time for a beer and a quick flick. How good is Cape York camping? And speaking of good, Shauno's cooking tonight. It's usually good. It's okay. Let's see how he goes.
Well, here we are at Birdie Creek, and I've got to say it's one of my favourite little campsites on the old Telly track. We've been here a couple of times now, and it's a little bit off the main Telly track. And I think that's what makes it so special. It's away from the crowds, and this time of year there's no crowds at all, so it makes it even better. What are you doing?
Dude! The barra I just released!
No, you didn't. No,
You should have seen the size of it!
Mate,
Holy heck!
look at the lure you're using, look at the rod you're using, and look at the main thing behind the
Holy
rod.
heck!
No,
It's like the workout. Feel those muscles. Feel that.
You haven't got
I
it.
need a beer, bro. I need a beer.
Look at this guy.
Woohoo!
Look at this guy go. So tonight, what I'm going to cook up is a bit of a lamb stroganoff. I like a stroganoff because it's quite easy to make. It's a one-pot wonder.
It's kind of weird. Why are we using lamb?
Because lamb was on special at the time at the butcher, and I thought, heck, if it works with beef, it'll work with
So
lamb.
using the same ingredients, you got some cream,
Sort of, yeah. I've made it work in a one-pot wonder, so
Tell you
it's going to
though,
be nice and easy.
how to be embarrassed, stroganoff. Oh, boys.
Righto, mate. So I guess first things first, I'll need a bit of lamb to make a lamb stroganoff.
Rogie in the Dometic.
In the Dometic, if you could. And
Oh, yeah.
while you're there, can you
Yes.
get some mushrooms?
How many?
Like heaps of them, like all the mushrooms.
You don't want too many.
Why is that?
You won't have mushroom for anything else.
Far out. Far out.
There we go. Oh, that's a big old.
Chuck that in there.
That's good,
All right, well, first things first, mate. You know,
Yep.
You've always ribbed me about having blunt knives.
dude. It's almost embarrassing as someone.
No, well, as a chef, mate, as a fair income chef, I've got myself.
yes. Oh, that's fancy.
I know, mate. And
What do you got in there?
all knives.
Well,
Lots of knives. Check this out.
Show
Check
me.
This out.
oh,
Look at this. This is dead set.
whoa.
Choose your weapon.
That is. I don't
Choose
want
your
one, but that is way too good for
Well,
you.
you're cutting the onions, so let's be
this bad
careful
boy.
because they
Yeah,
are quite
yeah.
sharp. What you want to do with a stroganoff, by the way, you can grab the old packet mix stroganoff, but that's not my, like as a chef, you don't want to just go and cheat when it comes to a meal like this. All right, so first things, I want to get this going, mate.
Way up!
Far out. He's always
Happens every time.
very fiery, this one, mate. I want to get the lamb. Oh, that is so sharp.
Yeah, these are crazy,
Holy
dude.
heck. I'm just going to go a bit of lamb in here.
You got oil in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to brown that off.
You sure the onion shouldn't have gone in first, chef?
No, this is where a lot of chefs get it wrong, mate. I'm going to reach around the back here.
Yeah, it's not the first time. Yep.
Going to give that a bit of a stir.
Oh, look at that. Oh, my eyes.
Got a bit of pepper here. That's nothing too crazy.
What's this stuff here?
Salt. Another
Pink
good
salt,
spice.
actually, yeah. Here you go. You sure your wrist is up to this? I know your wrist is up to this, actually. I'll put it
Very
there.
strong wrist, mate.
You have, I know you have.
Almost size. Paprika is like almost the cornerstone of a good strog.
Yeah, go hard. Drop some mixed herbs down. Oh, that smells divine, that does.
Yeah,
Can you eat
that's
that?
just the old Italian herbs. So we're basically
No, you can't eat that.
salt, pepper, paprika, some Italian herbs, bit of that. Put your nose in there, mate.
Really good.
Yeah.
Reminds me
That
of
will
my
be
youth,
nice.
that does.
That is looking good.
Onions?
Well, I need to get that lamb into there, but I didn't think this through.
Hang on. No, we need. I got a pair of pliers. Have you got a
Okay,
pair of
yeah,
pliers?
well, that'll do.
That wrist of yours. Tell you what, it never ceases to amaze me.
All right, so I just got all the lamb out of the pot. Look at that. That's looking.
Oh,
that smells
dude,
so
I'd
good. You
eat
can
that
eat
right
that
now.
by itself, to be
Yep.
honest with you.
Well, I
That'd-
might just have a little
that'd be a
bit.
nice, easy cooking scene.
Would be, wouldn't it? Thank you.
Chuck the onion straight in. So I just want to get that onion to go a bit translucent. That's,
What does that mean? See through?
Exactly right. Exactly right. So give that a stir. Next thing, always do this second. So I'll put the old onion in first, and garlic comes in second. So probably two old. What do you call this movement? 2 shakes to the wrist. 4 shakes to the wrist, and that's it. Next comes the mushroom.
Yes.
So that goes straight in. There's
hang
a
on.
sack of mushroom here.
How good is it just to be able to use the knife just to open things up like that? There you go.
Just having a sharp knife, I'm not used to it, to be honest.
No.
Now what you want to do here is about 5 to 7 minutes. You sort of want to get those mushies to reduce down into the old saute with the combination, infuse, whatever word you want to use. You basically
We're gonna mix them up.
mix them up. You mix them up. Yeah.
How's the iron, Jack? You want another one?
Yeah, I'm nearly done, mate.
All right.
So, and while you're in there, mate, actually grab that sour cream out.
Roger. Sour cream, bro.
How'd you go, mate?
Yep, sour cream. How's your beer?
Yeah, good, mate.
That's
Did
the
you get me
way.
one?
Huh?
Did you get me one?
Yeah, I got you the sour cream right there, bro. What's the next step?
Ooh, I need some water actually. Have you got any water? Got a bit of beef stock here, and I'm going to put a fair bit of water because I want to cook the pasta in with the strog.
There's a lot of heat there.
All right, mate.
We good?
No, keep going.
Okay,
keep going.
okay.
So what I've got here, I've got a bit of
Alright.
the old beef stock. Oh, you get it some in the pan. mate.
Sorry.
Come on.
I got to reposition.
2 cups of. Don't read the instructions. Just put a fair bit in. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Oh, look at that. Like you could nearly just drink that.
I would eat that. When do we do the linguine?
Oh, shit.
Linguine.
Sugar.
What are you doing?
We've got to dive in and get that.
All right.
Lamb's going back in
What?
first. Yeah, lamb's going back in.
Damn, chef. Oh, look at the juices
Yeah, I know.
there.
It's also got the gravy of the old lamb in there, so that's
damn,
good.
boy.
Putting that straight in. There we go.
That is a meal fit for kings. I'd eat that right there.
You would. You know what's going to be a good meal when you've said about 4 stages through
I'd
the
eat
meal.
that right there.
Oh, let's just eat it. Bit of sour
What's the
cream.
next?
Bit of sour
Now?
cream. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's up to your own personal taste. It always is when it comes to cooking, I find. So
There's actually recipes you can follow too.
someone should show me a couple. But I usually go about a couple of wooden spoons worth of sour
Can I
cream.
stop you for a second?
Yep.
Folks, if you've got an absolute kick butt recipe that you think, I'm going to use the term Chef Shauno, it's actually not true, my good mate Shauno should do, please, I urge you, I beg you,
Like a real recipe.
like a recipe
have to
that we will
follow
we'll follow it to the letter.
Okay,
we will follow it to the
alright.
letter.
If it's good and it works well around the campsite,
We will follow it to the letter.
Yeah.
Get in
Hit
touch
me
with
up,
us.
hit me up.
Leave a comment, and we will actually do it.
You-
Because trust me,
oh, it's all right. Before we go that, all right.
mustard.
Yeah, a little bit of mustard, just a
I've
just
got
a
like
little
one
touch.
job, and I just want to put this in there.
I know, but this is the whole grain. You can use Dijon. Yeah, I've got a bit of this is linguine, so it's the old egg pasta.
Yep.
Takes about 10 minutes. Now this is a good thing. Just gonna chuck like that, put that straight in. It's gonna be good.
It's a heck of a
it's gonna be
meal.
good.
Holy heck, I'm hungry.
This has been about 10 minutes on the old boil, so I've simmered that right down. It's, you can eat, the
Yes.
noodles have expanded, there's less juice now. That's a technical term.
You
Give me
gonna
that,
use
give me
those?
that. Get a plate, get the boys
here,
around
here.
here. Get in there. This is why I brought the extra camp cup. You just want to dive in there, get a bit of that gear in
That's
there.
the strog. That's the strog right there.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that.
Good Lord.
If you could see and smell what I'm smelling right now, like,
Bro, that is superb.
it's not bad, is it? Look at that. Look at that. Who wouldn't want that in your plate? One of the things I really like about this meal,
Yep.
let's forget that it tastes like the best restaurant you've ever been to, sort of stroganoff,
And it really is.
but it's one pot wonder. So it's nice and easy to make.
And it sticks to your ribs. I think I'll still be eating this in about a week.
Yeah, I reckon we grab this, boys, down to the fire, wrap your laughing gear around it. Oh, that is good.
Superb.
That is so good. It actually worked out better than I thought, eh?
Always does. Every meal you do. Works out like that.
There's nothing better than waking up on a clear, fresh morning in Cape York at a stunning campsite. It's absolute paradise, and I reckon you'd agree. We're only a day in, and the trucks have already got their mud makeup on, and I got a feeling there's plenty more of that to come. As the sun peeks out and starts putting some charge back into the batteries, Anthony is setting up shop on the Opus camper. The sound of sizzling bacon and eggs is a guaranteed way to get some attention in this convoy. And with Anthony cooking up a storm on the camp kitchen, well, we reckon we better go and investigate.
A bit bloody luxurious, isn't it, mate? Sitting in here,
Kicking back like this, eating a bacon egg roll, you'd think
in the middle of Cape York.
in the middle of Cape York,
Telly track.
you think you're in a cafe somewhere, mate. How good is it? I guess it makes it easy when you've got a kitchen in the bush, you know, you can do things like this, just to, you know, you can pull up for lunch on the side of a track and just,
I think that's the idea behind it all.
I'm sort of trying to get him to do some hamburgers for lunch today.
He's got hamburgers.
I've got this.
Oh, he does, he
got
does.
hamburgers.
All right, what are we going to do today?
Well, straight up, we've got Gunshot within 20 minutes. Camp tonight, if we can push on and get to my favourite campsite on the Cape,
Sam's Creek.
Sam's Creek.
I love that, do you know why?
Yeah, I do
Swimming
like-
hole.
Yeah, it's
I've even told the boys, I said, just, you've got something to look forward to today.
It'll be rushing through there too.
Yep.
That swimming hole. So it's going to be a hard day, mate. We've got to do gunshot, fair bit of four-wheel driving.
Epic driving,
We've got some swimming to do,
some swimming.
then a big fire tonight,
Epic camping.
barbecue, a few beers.
Yeah, I can sign me up. Sign me up. Sounds
gig,
like a
mate.
day I don't want to miss.
With so much ahead, it's time to pack up and hit the track. One of the best things about the Old Telly is that the challenges are never far away. And just outside camp, we're already on our first river crossing.
Well, what a start to the day in Cape York. We're coming down to the Birdie River. Now this one here, you do need to know what you're doing. You've got to go down the bank a little bit, and it's a real rocky sort of base, but there's a lot of big holes in this creek. So I'm just going to basically cruise up the bank until I see a nice little spot where I want to cross, and you can see the exit over there. Just cruise up the bank and try and pick a nice way through. If you went right now, there's big rocks, there's all sorts of big holes in there. It'd be in a fair bit of strife. There you go. There's definitely a hole there. I'll go around that. Look at this. Cape York, Birdie Creek. Super good.
Now look, if you've done the Old Telly before, you'll know that the crossing of Birdie Creek means one thing, and that's next up is one of the most iconic four-wheel drive challenges in Australia. It's a rite of passage for so many of us four-wheel drivers, and a destination people travel thousands of kilometres to attempt. That's right, I'm talking Gunshot Creek. While the many entries into Gunshot change from season to season, one line stays the same, and that's this one. A car-swallowing drop into the heart of the creek.
Mate, where are we?
Hardly needs an explanation, mate. This is only probably the single most famous challenge in Australia.
Australia?
In Australia.
Without a doubt.
It's Gunshot.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, mate, my voice is a little bit hoarse. It's not that I'm real nervous, but
Well, you have got some unfinished business with this bad boy.
I do.
So I think it's only fair that you do step up and have a red dot go at it. Plan of attack in my mind.
Yep.
Slide down, scream a lot.
Yep.
Hit the bottom.
Yep.
Turn the engine off.
Yep.
I will run back with the D-Max. I won't take the D-Max. I'll take a snatch strap with me, hook it up, I'll drive you forward.
Yep.
We high five.
I might even put the snatch strap on before I go down.
That's that old chestnut.
Exactly right, mate. Get everything ready because
Solid plan.
I actually think it's a little easier than last year.
I think it is, but
I'm telling myself that. Just let me say that, okay?
It is
Right?
easy. You're going to drive out of it and you're going to be going, move the D-Max, move the D-Max. So
Oh, that'd be nice.
Would be
That'd be
nice.
nice. I'm excited. I'm
get
excited,
ready.
mate. Actually, I'm scared.
Excited, scared. It's a 50-50.
Get ready. What do you reckon, boys?
Let's do it.
To get into position to recover Shauno, I'm taking the D-Max down an alternative line into the creek.
I'll just reverse up into there, boys. We'll get a bit of a snatch strap out. Get ready to go. You ready, mate?
Nah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to run you through our well-oiled machine of a plan that we have going here. Right here, I have the D-Max shackle on it, ready to go. We have a snatch strap and our professional snatch strap applicator. Andy is right here. You good?
Mate, good to go.
He is good to go. Up the top here, we have Shauno. He's looking a little shaky, but don't worry about that. I know him. He'll drive this well. Now, you'll see that we've attached a snatch strap already and tucked it into the bull bar. That is going to be our primary means of evacuating him from the vehicle, if we need to, or getting the vehicle out of here, one of the two. We've also got a fail-safe. We've got the winch attached as well, just in case I can't get that snatch strap out. But for now, I have a feeling he's going to scoot down there, drive forward, come down and high-five me and ask me to move the D-Max. Or not.
It's going to be one of the two scenarios. What do you reckon, mate?
I'll guide you down.
Okay, this is the last opportunity, boys. Anyone else want to go first? Crickets.
No sounds.
Holy heck, Gunshot 2019. I've got some unfinished business here. I don't normally get this nervous before a track. Last time didn't go so well, so I'm a little bit apprehensive this time around, but I haven't seen many tyre tracks on it early in the season. There's only one way to find out. This is the point of no return. If you get right here, this is where you're in. You're really in. Okay, nervous. Oh, there's the point of no return. This is definitely the point of no return. All right, go for it, boys. Engine off. That's steep. That's about as steep as you're ever going to get in a four-wheel drive without needing another set of pants.
Shauno immediately turns off the engine to protect it, but with the recovery plan already in place, it's only a matter of seconds before we've got Shaun hooked up and ready to snatch.
Here we go, bud.
I'm good, bud.
Gentle is the key here. Just enough to pull that bull bar out of the mud.
Gunshot! Boom! Now what I'm going to do here, just in case the oil's not where it should be, well, that was so quick that I don't think it matters. I'm just going to let it sit here for a while, let everything drain back down before I turn it back on. That is success. Zero driving from me, just really put the willies up me.
Steep?
More than steep, mate. More than steep. It was so steep my breakfast nearly came out my mouth.
I must admit, like I didn't want to say anything at the time, it looked horrible. I think if we drunk one more beer last night, we didn't have that weight in the back,
yep,
you would have gone over.
All right, that's one four-wheel drive through. But up next, Anthony, and he's made a big call.
All right, well, this is a committee thing to do.
It is, mate. With a camper trailer, I think it might be one of the first of the year with a camper trailer.
I would agree, but I think he's talking two things. R&D.
Yep.
They really want to test what it can do.
Yep.
If it can do this, it can do anything. And I've got a sneaky suspicion it's going to come down, push the vehicle, and he's going to drive out of here.
What?
Yeah.
Nah.
You don't reckon?
Nah.
All right, well, I'll stay here just
I think it's going to be pretty exciting nevertheless.
Let's hope nothing goes wrong.
All right, I'll guide him.
Yep. I'll get ready to drive.
We'll do it all.
Okay, mate.
Make it all work.
Go for it.
Mate, you just want to go almost on that line, just nudge it forward.
Those wheels are almost perfect. I'll guide you.
Down, and we'll go down inch by inch, mate.
That's it. You got the trailer brakes on?
Yeah, Redux round right up to 10, mate.
Keep on that line, it's just about you. Fraction that way, yep.
It's not every day you see someone take a brand new camper trailer down Gunshot.
This is all you, man.
But Anthony's confident, and he's got a good point. You see, that camper trailer will actually help to keep the back end of the car down and keep him on line. I reckon he's got every chance of making it down unscathed.
All right. That's all right, that's you, mate.
That is me.
He's taken his time and he's dropped in perfectly. Will you have a look at the angle that trailer's on?
Here we go, bud.
Have a look at the departure angle on the OP2. Everything is tucked up and it's out of the way, so he's not knocking anything on huge challenges like this.
There it goes, Opus down Gunshot.
We're down.
That is one tough camper trailer.
Mate, that was bloody exciting.
You're a madman, you're an absolute madman. What's wrong with you?
How's that for R&D? You'll not get any more than that.
And I'm glad to say your trailer is actually still attached and
that's good.
still blue. That's a good sign. It's got 2 wheels in it. You had 2, didn't you?
No, let's do it again. Let's go backwards.
Far out, mate. It actually was quite smooth.
Yeah, I reckon it helped me.
That's remarkable, mate. First Opus down Gunshot, probably. I would say also the first camper trailer of the year.
I reckon you're right.
Alrighty, Sam's got some big shoes to fill after that great drive by the Opus. Pressure's on, bud.
What are you worried about? So many things.
All right, Sam, I've got you, mate. You're in my hands.
Still.
A little bit more drivers, tiny bit more drivers, that's it. Now you can see me.
This is terrifying. I've never seen you concentrate so much.
Leave it straight. So close.
That's us. That's us. Welcome to the Hitman Series roller coaster.
That's us.
Oh my, holy dolly.
Now that's an F1 recovery team right there.
All right.
You reckon you've seen faster?
How does it feel, mate? Gunshot done, you got no words. Woo.
It's all about the co-pilot, I reckon.
You did well, mate. You can tick that one off the bucket list. Gunshot done. Well, just when we thought we're all done and dusted, Graham, our recovery vehicle, well, in true Graham style, he's decided he can't leave Gunshot without having a bit of fun himself. So he's driven back up, he's turning around now. He's asked Sam to be the recovery vehicle, and he's going to drive Gunshot in the Isuzu. So look out, I've got the easy job.
A little bit of nerves, but fairly steady, fairly steady. All right, folks, Gunshot in an Isuzu D-Max. This is a bit of a first.
Yeah, keep going. You'll see me soon. Keep going.
This part doesn't feel too bad. I'm guessing it's going to get a lot worse very quickly. Like now.
Oh, I thought I was going to drive it.
It's a heck of an angle. Just hanging in there, waiting for a mate. Look at that.
Yep.
Go for it, bud.
Alright, pulling.
You mad bugger,
Yeah,
mate.
buddy.
You mad bugger.
You know what? Actually, wasn't that bad.
Well, mate,
All
you
right.
tick that one off. You've
That's
done
it.
Gunshot a lot of times. That's the first time on
First
that
time done
one.
a real gunshot. Yep.
Yeah,
All right, well,
good life.
let's keep going.
Get into it, boys.
This way to adventure.
Well, how about that? 4 four-wheel drives down Gunshot. Pretty damn cool, right? Give us a like if you agree, folks. Now, I got a question for you. Would you take your rig down Gunshot? Or maybe you have? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Well, just took the seat covers off, washed a little bit of mud off them, and I thought I'd take this opportunity to show you one of the latest mods I've done in the 80 here. This right here is a Stratos bucket seats. I've got a passenger one and of course the driver's one. Now these things have transformed the 80, in particular on how it drives. I do a lot of kilometres each year, about 50,000, and a lot of those are harsh off-road tracks like this one right here, the Tele Track. Now these seats give me a lot of support, but one of the things I like most about them, on those long drives, it makes me feel so much more refreshed when I get to my destination. That's because I'm travelling in comfort. So if you want to refresh the seats in your vehicle, make your vehicle a little bit more comfortable, a heck of a lot more comfortable actually, well, check out Stratos seats.
Now, in the dry season, the sections of the Teletrack between river crossings are usually pretty dry, and they're easy to drive. But we've had a big wet this year, and conditions are anything but usual. Up ahead, we're seeing more and more mud across the track.
Far out, Cape York. This is early in the season and there's so much water on these tracks. So much mud too. And being up front, you just don't know what's deep and what's not. Here's a bit of mud now. Far out. Get into it.
As we push north, there are bog holes and muddy ruts appearing everywhere, and it's playing havoc with the convoy. Sean's first to go down, but he's certainly not the last. Still, with the right gear, recoveries like this really are a breeze. Nonetheless, our Hercules gear is really paying for itself today. How good is Cape York?
About as much fun as you can have with your pants on. Let me tell you that for free.
How good is this? Second gear. Early season Cape York. They said it was going to be wet. This is normally, whoa, dusty through here. I'm through. Cameraman running everywhere. Woo! Cape York. If you haven't been, get on up here. After that mud, the perfect antidote is some fresh water on the undercarriages. So thankfully, next up, it's Cockatoo Creek. Look at that. Cape York's finest. There's some great camping around this creek, but do be aware, this is one of those creeks where crocs have been spotted, so be careful around the water. Still, it's absolutely magical and well worth a look. Speaking of gems, there's a little lake on the left around here, chock full of these amazing little critters. They've gathered round for a feed, and we reckon it's time we did too.
We just stopped for a bite to eat, and I thought it's the perfect time to go through, I think, the biggest question we get asked all the time: what spares you need to bring on a remote trip such as Cape York? Now, Sam, there's no better person to ask, the bloke himself from Sparesbox. Mate, let's go through the spares you carry in the back of the 80 here.
Mate, try to always carry on big trips with front and rear wheel bearing kits.
Yeah, very important.
CV joint axle, of course. A couple of freewheeling hubs if your vehicle's got them. Spare air filters are a must on a big trip, as well as a fuel filter when you're going remote. Wheel studs and axle studs as well.
Yeah, good. That's a nice little all-round package of good spares to take to make sure that your vehicle is going to be right for any sort of terrain. The good thing is, even if you don't know how to change a CV, well, chances is you'll be able to find someone who can help you with that. But if you don't have the parts, well, you know, you're not going to go anywhere in a hurry. So, mate, where can people go to get all this sort of stuff?
Head over to the Sparesbox website. If you're not sure what you need or how to find them, jump over to the Contact Us portal. You'll speak to the experts back at HQ. They'll get you sorted.
Well, mate, that does sound really, really easy. Anyone can get the spares they need to get onto the tracks of Cape York, and we both drive 80s, mate, so the chances are we're not going to need them to even take them out of the package, but it gives me great confidence to know you've got them. So, all right, pack those up, and I reckon we go and hit the tracks.
Let's go.
Come on, mate, don't need spare parts for a Toyota. Yeah, right, Shauno. Mate, lucky you've got Sparesbox on speed dial, so they can ship all the parts you need straight to your door. Next up, we've got another must-see of the Old Tally Track, a glorious swimming hole known as Fruit Bat Falls. The water is absolutely perfect, and it's a great way to cool off after a hard day on the tracks. I could happily spend all day at Fruit Bat Falls, but we've got plenty more ahead. So we've got to continue on the northern end of the tally and the next challenge.
Windows going up halfway. Here we go.
Oh, have a look at this, will you? This is one of my favourite little river crossings that you get up here on the tally. And of course, the tally is absolutely famous for its number of water crossings, just like this one down here. Now, the technique I use to get through these, I'm going to go second gear, low range of course, up into second gear in manual mode. I'm going to enter nice and slowly. I'm going to do that because if I hit too hard, it could force water up into the engine bay, and that could force that fan back into your radiator. You don't need to do that. So I'm just going to get in. Once I'm in, I'm going to build up a bit of speed, create a bow wave, build up a bit of momentum, pop out the other side, and hopefully that's another little river crossing done on the tally. So in we go. As I say, she's pretty deep. She's pretty deep. They might be deep, but with the right technique, Cape York crossings are yours for the taking. And to be honest, the D-Max is making it feel easy. That was insane. That's how you do that.
Ready to go swimming?
This is crocodile territory here.
Not keen to get out.
Keep moving, keep moving. Touch and go.
After another absolutely epic day on the Old Tally, we're grateful to roll into one of our favourite camp spots on the track, here at Sam Creek. There's plenty of little campsites hidden up amongst the trees. Speaking of hidden, there's another secret to this place that we'll show you a bit later. First though, it's time to set up camp for the night. Anthony's doing his magic trick again with the Opus camper, and it starts to set itself up while the rest of us roll out canvas. With the air beams up, Anthony's soon putting the finishing touches on the Opus camper. Really is a quality bit of kit. With camp done, it's time to check out the secret that makes Sam's Creek so special. This little bit of paradise right here is a hidden waterhole just off Sam Creek crossing, so you've got to look for it. It's not obvious at all, but when you're here early season like this and she's flooded like this, whoop, as good as it gets. With night falling, it's time to settle in by the fire and maybe crack just a few iron jacks. Now, check out this nifty little light from Nebo. Pretty cool, right? It's magnetic, and of course the reason we're using this little bad boy up here is that it's got a red light which doesn't attract bugs. Mate, in your honest opinion,
Yep.
Telly track, we're just over halfway through it.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's drive, a lot of people will do it in a day. It's the best part of the Telly as far as I'm concerned.
And these boys are going to love it. The old, what about Cypress?
They're going to, I shouldn't say that. You boys are going to have a lot of fun on Cypress. Cypress is about the width of a car,
Yeah.
but just under.
And you think you're all done. I've
Yep.
conquered the Telly. Nolans is
Yep.
like, yeah. Make sure your door seals are working.
If you've
all that
got
sort of
any
stuff.
electrical equipment,
Up
put
high.
it on the roof. Put it on, and then I reckon it's iconic, Jardine Ferry. I'm
This
looking
is going to be
forward
one of
tomorrow.
the best tracks in Australia
Yeah,
in terms
totally.
of being iconic.
Yep. And if you get up here at this time of year, early, we've had a late wet, but if you get up here early in the year, we've seen every campsite. We could have stayed in any one of them.
Yeah.
There's no one in them.
It's different from school holidays.
100% different.
Yeah.
We've got firewood, we've got the camps to ourselves, heaps of water, bit of mud around.
Yep.
I don't know, I just get so frothed up about it.
Yeah, it's a good time of
Telly
year.
track, absolutely fantastic. Boys, you are in for the day
Cheers,
of your
boys.
lives tomorrow.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, boys. You. It's our final day on the Old Tally track today, and while we're excited for what's ahead, you know it's bittersweet leaving this amazing campsite behind. The Forbies have been copping an absolute hiding so far on the trip, but they've never let us down. It never ceases to amaze me the places these rigs will take us. Speaking of reliability, the Opus camper has taken everything Anthony has thrown at it so far, and I thought I should get him to take us through a bit more detail on its features. Morning, mate.
Morning, how are you?
I was looking at this morning. This is your OP2, which is what the smaller version, the two-person version of the OP4, which I've been away with many times.
Many times, correct. So it's a bit like our OP4 in respect that you've got a club lounge there. You can really make it a full sleeper if you really need to. Same features and benefit as our OP4, except you've got that big shower tent where you'd normally have that other bed. This has one big bed, has a built-in shower tent for your shower, and it's also got your built-in toilet tent as well.
Outside, same sort of features?
Yes, exact same kitchen, big drying rack, 4-burner stove, slides everywhere. You've actually got a bigger pantry, a bigger fridge slide. We've amped up the external storage a little bit as well.
And it still goes up in what, under 3 minutes completely?
Look, you're looking at 90 seconds for the main structure. Give or take 5 to 6 minutes with the full air annex as well.
But the air annex, even when that's up,
in the sense of putting it up so easy, and when you get it up, you get what, you get a whole other livable area out here.
It's basically, you're just doubling your OP2, just putting another one right next to it.
And all of that is done by pushing that red button down there.
Correct.
And how much water do you carry on a trip like this, mate?
Look, I've got an 85 litre main tank, which is great for my dishes, my shower, and then I've also got a 35 litre tank. Now, for me, I put drinking water in that.
So you've got 35 litres of drinking water?
Yes.
How about putting a litre in there and boiling it for us, and I'll have another cuppa, mate?
Done. Let's do it, mate.
Camper trailers really have changed the camping game. Folks, where would you take an Opus camper if you had one?
Well, I like to get myself in the habit of doing a little once over in the morning. Just every day I'm off-road, just check the oil, I check the filter, and just have a general look around the vehicle in the engine bay and also underneath. See if any bolts have moved, just a general inspection, because that sometimes can get you out of a bit of strife. So this morning, I've noticed that my air filter, well, it's not so good. I carry a couple of spares. I'll just be changing that. Oil levels are fine. Apart from that, everything in Big Sooty is ready to hit the rest of the telly.
With everything humming along nicely, it's time to pack up and hit the track. Big day ahead, boys. The last section of the Old Telly has some of the biggest and most notable challenges of the track. But first, we've got to get there.
That's quite rocky and bouncy. Oh!
You wanted the R&D. Here we are.
Oh, okay, we're in the hole.
With everyone through, those challenges are not far off.
I think today is the best day on the telly, to be honest with you. There's so many cracking, iconic challenges to do today.
Hey Sam, Andy, you boys excited?
Mate, you're telling us it gets better than what we've done the last couple of days? Can't wait to see this.
You'll have a couple of iconics to see today. How about you, Anthony? You travelling well, mate?
Yeah, mate, I'm pretty keen. I've never done Cape before, as you know, so I'm keen to see the rest of it, really.
Mate, I hope those seals on the trailer are working fine, because we've got a lot of water crossings to do today, some real deep ones too.
Mate, that's what I like to hear. Proper R&D. Let's do it.
The northern end of the telly is peppered with a range of big creek crossings, starting with this one right here, Cannibal Creek. Don't miss the U-turn for the exit. Then we just need to flex our way onto perhaps the scariest challenge of the telly track, and one I know that Shauno is particularly keen to get over and done with. This tiny wooden bridge crosses Cypress Creek, so named because of the cypress pines used to make the narrow bridge. There's barely enough width for a set of tyres on this thing, so it's not for the faint-hearted.
Well, here we go. In terms of iconic bridges, they don't get much more famous than this one.
How's it looking this year, mate? Some years I don't even want to look at it.
It's not too bad, but I might get some up in front to spot me, because I don't want to take a risk right here. This is it's looking a little bit sketchy. There's a broken log on the right-hand side.
It's looking good.
The 80's in your hands, mate, so pick a good line. Yeah, I get a little bit, I wouldn't say scared of heights, but a bit troubled on heights. This one is not doing any favours. Oh, sketchy. Woohoo! Hey, look down there.
As Shaun creeps over the logs, suddenly there's a problem.
Stop it, stop it, stop it.
Couldn't help myself, but what are mates for, right?
Mate, that log on your left is moving ever so, well, moves quite a bit actually. Nah, just jokes, it didn't move at all.
Don't do this to me, I'm in the sweet spot. Get out of there as fast as you can is the key. Ho, 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 ho.
Nobody hangs around when they get off that bridge.
Nah, it feels a lot better to be on this side of Cypress, that's for sure.
All right, here we go. Oh, Cypress. I got my eyes on Andy up the front here. I think I know my line, but I'll just keep my eyes on Andy just to be sure. Oh, that's a long way down.
Right.
And then you just get off and you get out of here. be done with it, never look back. Cypress, done, ticked. This bridge is scary enough on 4 wheels, but Anthony has to get a camper over as well.
Oh, I also look down.
Oof, will you have a look at how tight that is? He's done it perfectly though, not an inch to spare.
Alrighty, I'm through. Your turn, Sam.
The key with scary challenges like this is to inspire confidence in your mates. You'll be right, Sam.
I don't know. This bridge, in all honesty, is barely a bridge. Mr. Cahill is making me a very nervous boy.
Ah, nice one, mate. You've made it through.
Oh, that's gross. Seriously gross.
When you're this far out on a remote track like the Telly, you're a long way from help, and that's why we take communication so seriously. Folks, one thing that you can be absolutely sure of out here on the Telly track is that your mobile phone, unless you're using a gadget like this, is absolutely useless to you because there is no coverage out here whatsoever. What I love about this model here and the one Shaun's running, this is the Iridium Go, is that it actually turns your mobile phone into a satellite phone by way of an app that you download before you come out into the bush, and it is super easy to use. If you can use your smartphone, you can use one of these. Now the folks at Pivotel have hooked us up with a couple of different varieties of sat phones. There's a whole range of plans out there, different models, different makes, different amounts of money that you can spend, but the bottom line is that these days satellite communications out in the bush are more affordable than it's ever been before. So really, you owe it to your family and your friends. Speak to the guys at Pivotel, find a plan that works for you, because trust me, unless you got one of these, your mobile phone, you may as well be a brick. Next up, we've got Logan's Creek, one of the deepest and longest crossings on the Old Telly. So early in the season, we know we're in for a big challenge on this one, and we've got to decide between the main line and a suspiciously boggy looking bypass.
DP. That's belly button.
Still.
Well, a little bit of preparation is the key for this one. I've got the snatch strap already attached to the back of me. I'm going to sit it down there behind the rear bar. Now, I made a bit of a planned attack with the boys of I'm really going a little bit overboard to be prepared for this one. I've taken my tyres down to 10 PSI, which is very, very low just to get through here. The fear I've got, I've just walked it before, it's quite deep, but also the bottom's quite soft. The approach I'm going to take is nice and slow in through here, let the tyres really do a lot of the work, and hopefully I can get across. You get one vehicle across, it should be easy for the rest of the boys to come across. If they get stuck, we'll be able to at least have a recovery vehicle, so fingers crossed. Well, I'm going to take the seatbelt off for this one, in case we need to bail. Get all your important things like your sat phones, your phones, just put it all on the dash.
Will you look at that? This is right on the edge of not being drivable. It's touch and go.
Oh, got out. That's deep. It's deep. Super deep. Got really wet. Like water coming through the window. Cape York, just after the wet. You gotta love it.
Holy heck, Shauno only just made it through there. His line was supposed to be hugging, as we're looking at it, that right-hand bank, and he just floated, came across to the left. That's why I kept motioning him. Come back, because it's deep in there, and then when he got up to here, well, you can see all this sediment that he's kicked up. He lost traction, almost didn't make it through. There's an alternate line over here. Sam, I reckon we go that way.
Through the guts.
Or that way.
Yeah, through the guts.
He's keen. All right. With Shauno on the opposite bank, we can now set up a snatch strap on the front of Sam's vehicle so we can recover him forwards if anything goes wrong.
Yeah, get one in the front, so we can grab it off the bottom.
Windows up. Submarine captain's hat on.
If you're going in, window should be down. Because it won't work.
The boys. They're on. Yeah. Come mate. Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah. You're nervous. You know.
I know. It's all going on.
Sort this out, but yeah.
It's all going on. All right.
Just close your eyes. Breathe. And gas it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
that bow.
Oh, baby. Cape York, just after the wet. How good is it? Mate.
Well done.
Now, I mentioned that boggy bypass before, and being a little bit lower and lighter, I think this might be a better option for the D-Max and the Ranger.
Okay, I've chosen the slightly less deep but far more boggy option down here. Now this could come back to haunt me, I don't exactly know. We'll see how we go. Window up. Nope, I was wrong. That is not the right line.
Bugger.
Well, this is where you wait for your mates to come and get you.
Shaun reverses back and we hook up and get ready to snatch. But as they say, when it rains, it pours. And now we've got another problem.
Well, it's not ideal. I came in to recover grain, thought it was going to be pretty simple. It's all muddy here. This is like probably the worst line ever. And I've fallen straight into the deepest part of the mud. So I'm going to get Sam starting in front, pull me out, then we'll pull Graham out. Thank goodness we're over this side of the bank though. We've got two vehicles, otherwise it would be nothing to winch off. We'll be here all day.
It's all part of life's rich tapestry.
Right, mate, good to go when you are.
Okay, here we go. Yep, I'm moving. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. What a ride, boys. Yeah, you'll need to come and get me from a more straight angle, otherwise you're going to push me into these bushes here. Cape York, it's always adventurous, I gotta say.
Holy golly. Well, I think you saw what happened there. We thought this was the easiest line to take the D-Max plus the camper through. When we took the D-Max through, of course, it sunk straight down. I sunk down trying to get him. Epic recovery. So we've had a bit of a rethink, a bit of a reshuffle, change of plans. We're going to take the camper through the deep spot. At least the deep spot is we'll be able to quickly put a strap on, take him straight out of the water if it does stop. So he said he's not going to get stuck. He's going to get stuck.
Second gear, low range, rear locker on, give it a little bit.
This is a risky move. Have a look at him fighting that wheel. He's just trying to get any bit of traction he can.
Come on, Betsy.
He's crawling forward, and by goodness, I think he's done it.
I did not think that was happening, mate.
That was very deep, mate.
The old
What do you
left
reckon?
right technique.
The deepest crossing you've ever done?
Yeah.
Perfect, mate. We'll take the strap off and
Let's go.
let's get a move on.
Done.
Now you got Nolan's, the real hard one.
Nolans is really the last big challenge of the Old Telegraph, and it's no joke when I say this crossing claims dozens of Forbies each season.
A bit deeper than I thought.
The nerves are definitely building as we negotiate the last water crossing before the main event.
It's always a good test to see what Nolan's going to be like. Nice and deep. Hey, means Nolan's going to be a cracker.
And just like that, we're here. The infamous Nolan's Creek. This place might look beautiful, and it is, but don't be fooled. Slip up here and you are looking at a serious lot of vehicle damage. There's plenty of evidence of past carnage here, so we jump in and look for the best line on offer. Mate, Nolans, we've been told about it, we've heard about it, we've been living it for the last, well, couple of months really, knowing we're coming up here.
Yep.
Not disappointed.
No, I've gone for a bit of a swim, mate, and that's exactly what I did, a swim, because it's so deep.
There's a garfish down there, that's how deep it is. Let him go. It really is.
I found the one I want to do.
Yep.
It's right over there.
You've gone quite quiet, mate. Look,
this is the problem with being the first vehicle through. Like, if you got another vehicle through, you can easily get the other car out.
Yep. All right, mate. Well, winching. That's your only option.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll just try and make it as seamless as possible.
Yeah. As soon as I think you'll drive that, which is fantastic for us.
If you don't, winch on, straight out. You'll only be in the water for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You'll be right. And those Toyota Seals,
Yeah, right.
You'll
Yeah,
be-
all right. Yeah, right.
you put everything up
Right.
high, bro.
Let's give it a go. I will be
He's a
doing that.
little
I'm a
nervous.
little bit nervous. I've never been stuck in Nolans properly.
Sean's chosen a short option on the right of the creek, but this one is still seriously deep.
When it comes to the old telly track, there's probably two bits of equipment I wouldn't do the old telly without, and one of those is the snorkel, and the second one is a good quality winch. Now I'm running the Dominator Extreme, and what I'm doing, I'm just about to go through Nolans here. There's no other vehicles on the other side, so if I get stuck, I'm on my own. That means I'll need to winch out. So I've unspooled probably about 5-6 meters, and I've also got the winch in free spool, so the boys will be able to quickly take it out. We've communicated, they know to come down and put the clutch back in. I've got the controller inside the vehicle, so hopefully if I do get stuck, I'm not going to be sitting in the water for too long. I'll be winching straight out, and then I'll be able to snatch the rest of the boys through. So fingers crossed it all works out.
This is going to be touch and go. Good luck, mate.
If there was a time not to get stuck, it's right now. This is the time that you just want to get through onto the dry ground and not flood your vehicle. Let's give this a go. Nolans Crossing 2019. Yes! Happy days!
Well done, bro.
That was deep. That was deep, man.
Oh boy!
That was deep.
There was just a bow wave coming for me.
I was just holding on. I was white in the face, mate.
I reckon you stay right here.
Yeah, I'm going to get that, maybe that snatch on the back.
I'm
And,
gonna get that snatch. Yeah, get it on the, put it on the front of mine, I reckon.
yeah, and then we'll just put it on
Good
here.
to go, yeah.
That is epic. Nolan's done. Did not get stuck. Did not become one of the statistics. I reckon about 50 cars a year easy get written off right in this water crossing. So it's probably one of Australia's most notorious water crossings, and Sooty's through.
HMAS Cahill is ready to sail.
Aye, Captain.
Everything I need is up high, no seatbelt for this one. Here we go. HMAS D-Max. Into the water. I am moving. Give us a push. Come on up there. Yes! 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 We pushed me up there. Yes!
Well done, mate. Well done.
Oh, that was sick.
This car, love it. All right, Anthony, let's see that trailer conquer Nolans. That was a huge effort, mate, but as you can see, it was just a bit too deep and he's lost traction. Jump in, boys.
It's around the tyre.
Ah, bugger. This is really unfortunate. The snatch strap that Anthony put on the front has slipped and actually looped around the wheel. If we pull him from that, we could take the whole lot off. It's out with the winch. Now, of course, winching is not ideal here, and speed is the key, as otherwise the car is going to take on a lot of water.
You want to test the camper trailer? We'll show you how to test the camper trailer here.
In no time, we've got the trailer and the Ranger safely out of the water. Just shows how important a good recovery strategy is in these situations. Even though we knew the strap was the first option, we had the winch and controller ready to go as a plan B.
Holy dooly.
All right, Sam, last challenge of the telly, mate. Show us what you got.
Well, Andy's out of the car for this one. It's a little intense. Sean kind of came across with no dramas, so I am hoping that I'll be able to follow in his footsteps, but we'll see how we go. God, I'm nervous. Nolans, baby. We're in. This is where the fun begins.
What water crossing?
What hole?
80 series life, mate. 80 series life.
No, it's not for everybody, but you know, how good.
Mate, put it there. That'll do ya.
Thanks, boys.
Nolan's crossing done.
Dunskies.
You've done Gunshot. You've had a good trip.
You've done the Cape.
It's been good.
Now, I know you love to see the camera car, so let's check its run from a little earlier. What a beast, eh? Well, folks, that's Nolan's and the Teletrack conquered. This has been one heck of a trip. Look, if you've got a fairly standard four-wheel drive or even a modern dual-cab ute, they're more capable than you think. Folks, get up here and just do it. Take time off work. Look, tell your boss you're crook and just get up here. Honestly, it's far more achievable than you possibly think.
Well, boys, I'm absolutely stoked. We can tick off the old telly from the bucket list.
Mate, more to the point, we can tick off Nolan's, one of the deepest I've ever seen it.
Yeah, that was insane, mate. I reckon the old 80's going to be it's going to be a little bit wet and moist in here for a while, but all well worth it.
Mate, totally worth it, boys. What do you think, Sam, Andy?
Mate, what a track. We were just talking about it. Blew our expectations away with the crossings, the drops, the mud, everything.
Yeah, it certainly does. Anthony, how'd you go, mate, with the trailer? That's a massive effort. This time of year, deep water, lots of mud, and you towed a camper through it, not to mention down Gunshot.
Mate, I reckon the trailer actually helped me. I think it made me look good. That extra braking, especially down Gunshot, it's absolutely killed it. I've had a blast. Thank you for having me.
What do you reckon, Graham? We beeline it for the ferry, mate?
Mate, straight to the ferry, up the top, Bamagil, let's go to the pub. Let's go to the pub.
This is the Jardine Ferry, linking the only road up to the tip of Australia. For us, this means the end of this adventure, but also the start of more adventures yet to come.
Mate, Old Telly, I'm going to go so far as to say that is the best Old Telly experience I've had.
Oh, dead set, mate. The water is as deep as I've ever seen it.
Yep.
There was no one on the track, so it meant we pretty much had the place to ourselves.
Yep.
And of course, we picked some of the best sites, attractions.
Mate, I think the take-home message is get up here early. Get up here before the main crowds come up, because that Telly track is now, it's starting to get popular. There's people coming in now. And I reckon another week, 2 weeks, she's going to be a totally different place. But we got up there early and oh my God, absolutely sensational.
Not to mention tough. Super tough.
Super tough, yeah. But that's what we come up here for. Boys, enjoyed it?
Sick. Let's do it again.
On the way back down, you reckon? Well, for now, we've got to get up here. Let's just one thing at a time. Folks, Telly track, it's on every four driver's bucket list, isn't it? For us, though,
Adventure doesn't stop here, does it,
I
mate?
reckon we go up the top and have a beer.
Oh, try and hold me back, mate.
That's,
Try and hold me
Cape
back.
York for you boys, beer, yeah? Top tip beer. Yep, that's it, folks. We might see you up here because we come up here every single year. We might not, but if we don't,
We'll see you on Full Drive Action.
sure will.
What do you reckon, folks? Will the old Telly track be on your bucket list? Stick around for all the laughs of the four-wheel drive action outtakes, but first, some info you should know about the gear that makes these adventures possible.
Well, mate, the old telly track really turned it on. I'm going to say it was the most fun I've ever had on the telly, and it's one of the hardest times of year, which
totally.
sort of ticks all our boxes. Speaking of ticking boxes, mate, there's a couple of products that I'd like to share with everyone out there that's really helped this trip come together. And one is one of the latest mods I've done in the 80. The 80 is an old four-wheel drive. Now, to make an old four-wheel drive even better, sometimes you've got to do a little creature comfort mods, and one in particular is the old Stratos seats I've got in there. Now, I've got the bucket seats in the 80 series, and that has changed the game, mate. Even getting to the old telly track was a couple of thousand Ks, not to mention the PDO with all those corrugations, and the old back has held up well, mate. Really super comfortable.
You've got to be comfortable.
Absolutely.
It's an absolute priority. Now, look, it goes without saying the telly track is remote. Your mobile phones are absolutely useless. So we got in touch with Pivotel, and they've given us a range of little bits and pieces out there that we've got. Which one have you got?
I've got the Thrier.
I've got the Iridium Go. Now, what they are is a little unit that actually uses your mobile phone as a sleeve, super easy to use, and they're so much cheaper than you're actually thinking. So get in touch with Pivotel, sort yourself out. It means when you go bush and you're remote, just peace of mind, you are so much safer with them.
Absolutely. I think there's no excuse for not having sat phones these days.
Not anymore,
They're
not anymore.
very available and,
Super cheap.
quite affordable.
Yep.
Now, speaking of being reliable out in the bush, mate, I've had to do a little bit of winching, a lot of winching actually. Now, I've got a couple of batteries in here that have not let me down. I'm running the Century Overlander 4x4 batteries. Love these batteries. I use them to crank the four-wheel drive, but also, of course, to run the winch and other accessories that draw a lot of power, like my spotlights and stuff like that. And absolutely flawless, mate. With all that water, all that mud, corrugations,
No problem.
They're built for it.
One last shout out to some gear we tested in Cape York, and that's of course to Snatch Clothing. You can get the same Snatch gear that Shaun and I wear on the shows by heading to snatchclothing.com.au, or you can check out Snatch Clothes on Instagram for special deals.
Righto, folks, that's the Telly track in a nutshell. Little tip from us, get up there early, end of May, but do just check those conditions because the water can be
very high. Depends on the wet season, but we had a lot of fun, very challenging. Now, I want to take this opportunity as well to thank you for watching. Now, if you like four-wheel drive action, let's face it, you love it because it's the best four-wheel drive show in the world. Make sure you like it, make sure you comment. We're regularly going through the comments. So let us know and turn your notifications on so you don't miss a second of the action.
See you next time.
All right, okay, here we go.
Rolling 1-1.
Yeah, rolling.
Yes! Not even nervous, I've lost the colour in my face, just natural. Just really not a sunny day, so.
Yeah, just give me 2 seconds, I'm taking a photo.
Yo! Zah! Where are you, Andy?
Alright, mate, coming through. Sam, you were wrong, mate. This is not the track.
It'll be. Well, we just stopped for a little bit of lunch. We thought we'd go through some of the spares that we typically take on that.
Oh, that'd suck.
Righto, g'day Sam. No, there's no need to do that. You know who I am, and we've been on the trip for a while together.
What I love about both the model Shauno's running and this Iridium Go that I've got here is that they actually turn your satellite phone. No, not your satellite phone, because you've got a satellite phone, folks, you just use that.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to go nerd soft. Yeah, buzz.
That's where the 80 series traction control kicked in, right?
Yeah, we'll just press the, this button here, downhill descent control.
Devoted the Kryptonic diode.
Well, we decided to stop for a bite to eat, and I think it's the perfect time to go through what I think is one of the biggest questions that get us. That was a beatbox episode. Do you like that?
A little bit, I wouldn't say scared of heights, but a bit troubled at heights.
Hey, look at that hole in the mud down here. That's one got me perplexed. That's the 3rd anchor point.
They're actually a bit stale. Right. Anyway.
Yeah.
But get in as early as you possibly
can. As soon as you can. About April. It's pretty early, actually.
That's pretty early. I wouldn't go up that early, but anyway.
Way too early.
We might cut there.
Teach you how to drive, mate. Just look what he does, and
Any chance you could just get away from
I was going to say try and do what I do, but just
like out of my personal space.
Don't do what I do. Just
Off route.
Pretty much sums it up.
Come on, along. Come on, listen to my song. Come on, along. Get out of here.
It's the 10 airbag version of the 80 series?
Yeah, this has got curtain airbags, it's got side impact protection, we should be sweet.
They look pretty, mate.
oh no.
That was a big question. Did it live up to your expectations? I mean, it's the most famous track in Australia.
Here's the thing I want to show you folks at home. Sean's mum, there you go Mrs. Whale, has made him a whole heap. Well, this is caramel and macadamia slice. Just one second. There's another caramel and macadamia slice. There's another caramel and macadamia slice. Here we have coconut date roll.
Right, mate, that's enough. You've seen enough in there. You put it all back.
This is what I gotta deal with.
Put all those back.
Tell you what, I might have gone a little bit overboard on that piece of camera. Sorry, folks, you can't. What just happened then is one of those moments behind the scenes that you'll never get to see, but trust me, that was a champagne blooper. See ya.